Namah Shivaya children, welcome to English class. We will continue the lesson of Unit 2 Art and Sculpture, the Model Millennia. Before going to that, we shall have a quick recap of the previous class, what we learnt in the previous class. We gathered some information about the author Oscar Wilde and then warm-up activity. In that there was a story and I told you the moral of the same. And in the content what we learnt, there was a very good looking young man named Hughie Erskine. He was a popular and kind. However, he was not very clever and had no money. He kept changing his job but always failed. Finally, he stopped working and lived on money given to him by an old aunt. He loved a girl named Laura Merton, the daughter of a retired colonel. The colonel would only allow them to get married if Hughie had 10,000 pounds of his own. One day, Hughie visited his friend Alan Trevor, who was a painter. He was a strange, rough fellow with a freckled face. Freckled face means face with many small brownish spots and a red rag beard. However, when he took up the brush, he was a real master and his pictures were eagerly in demand. So up to here we learned and I gave some keywords, 5 keywords and then meanings. 4 meanings. I told you to write it in your CW. I think all of you have written it. Okay, so shall we move on to the lesson now? I'll be reading the lesson now and afterwards I'll be explaining the lesson. I have already told you to keep textbook with you whenever you are attending the English classes for better understanding. Okay, open your book, page number 26. When Hughie came in, he found Trevor putting the finishing touches to a wonderful life-size picture of a beggar man. The beggar himself was standing on a raised platform in a corner of the studio. He was a bent old man with a wrinkled face and the saddest expression. Over his shoulders was flung a coarse brown cloak, all tears and tatters. His thick boots were patched, and with one hand he leant on a rough stick, while with the other he held out his battered hat for arms. "What an amazing model!" whispered Hughie as he shook hands with his friend. "How miserable he looks!" "How much does a model get for sitting?" asked Hughie. "A shilling an hour." "And how much do you get for your picture, Alan?" "Oh, for this I get 2,000 guineas." "Well, I think the model should have a percentage," cried Hughie, laughing. "They work quite as hard as you do." "Nonsense. Why, look at the trouble of laying on the paint alone and standing all day long at one's easel. It's all very well, Hughie, for you to talk, but I assure you that there are moments when art almost becomes manual labor. But you must not chatter. I'm very busy, so keep quiet." After some time, a helper came in and told Trevor that the frame maker wanted to speak to him. "Don't run away, Hughie," he said as he went out. "I'll be back in a moment." The old beggar took advantage of Trevor's absence to rest for a moment on a wooden bench that was behind him. He looked so forlorn and wretched that Hughie could not help pitying him and felt in his pockets to see what money he had. All he could find was a gold coin, a sovereign. Poor old fellow, he thought to himself, he wants it more than I do, but it means no taxis for the next 2 weeks. And he walked across the studio and slipped the sovereign into the beggar's hand. The old man looked surprised and smiled faintly. "Thank you, sir," he said. "Thank you." The Trevor arrived and Hughie took his leave, blushing a little at what he had done. He spent the day with Laura, got a charming scolding for his extravagance, and had to walk home. That night he met Trevor at the Palette Club. "Well, Alan, did you get the picture finished all right?" he said. "Finished and framed, my boy," answered Trevor. "And by the way, you have made a conquest. That old model you saw is quite devoted to you. I had to tell him all about you. Who are you, where you live, what your income is, what plans you have." "My dear Alan," cried Hughie, "I shall probably find him waiting for me when I go home. Poor old wretch! I wish I could do something for him. I think it is dreadful that anyone should be so miserable. I have got heaps of old clothes at home. Do you think he would care for any of them?" Why, his rags were falling to bits. This is about the lesson, children. Now I would be explaining the lesson. Hughie goes to see his artist friend Alan Trevor. He finds Alan is painting a portrait of an old man who appears to be a beggar. The old man is wearing a tattered brown cloak and boots which have been mended many times. He has a rough walking stick in one hand. In the other hand, he is holding out an old hat as if to ask for money. His face is heavily wrinkled and he looks extremely sad. Both Alan and Hughie agree that the old man is an excellent subject for a painting. Hughie, however, cannot help feeling sorry for the man. He thinks it is unfair that although Alan's paintings regularly sell for 2,000 guineas, he only pays his models 1 shilling an hour to pose for him and does not give them a percentage of the money which he makes from sales of the portraits. When Alan leaves the room, Hughie looks in his pockets. He finds that the highest denomination coin which he has is a sovereign. Hughie gives the coin to the old man, who appears very happy to receive it. Hughie leaves soon afterwards. Alan and Hughie meet up again later. The artist tells his friend that after he left, the old man asked several questions about him. Hughie said that he wanted to do something for the old man. He had some old clothes at home and he wanted give that to the old beggar. Okay, children, this is about the lesson. Now I would be giving some more keywords. You have to write it in your CW. Okay. First one, course. Second one, tears and tatters. Third one, guineas. Fourth one, forlorn. Fifth one, wretched. Okay, shall I spell, children? COARSE, course. Second one, TEARS, tears, and tatters, TATTERS. Statters. Then third one, guineas, Guineas, guineas. Fourth one, forlorn, Forlorn. Then fifth one, wretched, Wretched, wretched. Then sixth one, sovereign, Sovereign. Sovereign. Then seventh one, took his leave, took, his leave, leave. Then eighth one, extravagance, extravagance. The ninth one, falling to bits, falling, falling, bits, bits. These are all the keywords I have given. Now let's move on to the meanings. I'll be giving some meanings here, that also you have to write it in your CW. First one, chorus, COARSE, chorus, that is means rough, ROUGH, rough. All tears and tatters means clothes that are old and badly torn. Okay, the meaning is clothes that are old and badly torn. Third one, guineas, old British coins, each worth 21 shillings. Then fourth one, forlorn, saddened, lonely. Then wretched, very unhappy. These are all the meanings, and there are some more meanings. Sixth one, sovereign, that means a British gold coin that was used in the past. Okay, then seventh one, took his leave, that means said goodbye to someone and left. Then eighth one, extravagance, that means wasteful or careless spending. Okay. Then ninth one, falling to bits. It means in a very bad condition because of being used over a long time. Okay, falling to bits means in a very bad condition because of being used over a long time. So these are all the keywords and meanings which you have to write it in your CW. Understood, children? Read the lesson once again, learn the spellings of the keywords and learn the meanings. Then you have to write it in your CW also. Okay, children? I hope you have understood. I'll be back with the next part of the lesson. We are going to continue in the next session. Until then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you. Namah Shivaya.